Tanakh is different than Talmudish. Look at Yeshayahu. Look at Yeshayahu as a Jew. A lot of rabbis don't touch that.
If you want the basic sectarian difference, according to the Jewish
basic
canon,
jujitsu.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
No, this isn't jujitsu. This is just, what's the difference between Jewish belief and Christian belief. When the Bible canon closed with Ezra and Nehemiah and the rebuilding of the Second Temple, and Chronicles was written, it was understood that that was the last of the prophets, and another prophet would not arise until Messiah came. And in that understanding, by definition, if Christ was not the Messiah, it's a false religion. And Paul has no authority. Paul is not a prophet. He does not have the ability to argue with Moses. And certainly the Talmud and the approach of Moses himself says is that the law is only derived from Moses. You can't derive the law from the later prophet. Moses is the lawgiver, and no future prophet has the ability to argue with Moses. So almost all your arguments, according to the Jewish understanding, are null and void, because Paul has no authority to argue with Moses or any of the other prophets.
My brother, what is your name? Because you get very condescending. I see what the Christians say when you get... What I'm trying to tell you is Sha'al is just saying what Yahshua said. And I know as you as a Jew, you don't care what Yahshua said. But Yahshua says Moses was there, but I was with Moses.
Right.
Read Bereshit, chapters 1 and 2, bro.
He also says, if you were the children of Abraham, you would do as Abraham did.
Exactly. They wouldn't be secular saying, here, as a Jewish man, this is what they said. Here is a golden Roman coin. Okay. So if they weren't secular, why would they have a golden coin? That's why Mashiach didn't want to answer his question, because they were trying to get him, but he knew how despicable and evil they are. As Ellen Benjamin says, I know you guys heard of Ellen Benjamin. That they were trying to sneak him.
But God says through Moses. I'm saying you're ignoring the point that I said. God
what is your point? You're saying Paul wasn't through Moses, but Paul was with Moshe.
Paul has no authority to argue with Moses. If you're a Jew by blood, you're obligated under the laws of Moses. Moses clearly says in the prophecy.
But Torah is the Mashiach. That's what these Christians are trying to say. You keep always being like very cocky about it.
That goes against the general.
Read Torah.
No one can argue with Moses. Paul or even Jesus does not have the ability to argue with Moses.
Hey, Christians, you guys know the Bible, right? Look at the first 5 books, right? And explain to this man. I know you guys can use a screenshot. Explain to this Jewish guy. Give him a screenshot of the scripture where it talks about one of the apostles brought out something about Daniel's prophecy. And this man is saying that you're arguing with Moshe, but the first 5 books are all about the coming Moshiach. I know as a Jew, you guys want like a Kushner because he's powerful, but Moshiach came, he spoke Torah better than all the rabbis.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of the Daniel verse off the top of my head, but Matthew 5:18, Jesus says, I'm not getting rid of the law of Moses. Like basically, so if you're a Jew, you have to keep observing it. And
So I started reading them, started studying Hebrew, and picked it up very fast. So I know I had it in me, and I started studying Torah, Tanakh by myself, was in these different Torah groups, but they kept going back to the Talmud. But if you look at Torah, Shema, Shema, Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, that is nothing about Talmud, bro. It's all about the Torah. If you look at Talmud, it's completely against Torah. Torah says that Shabbat, as for you and me, it's tonight. But Talmud says you can't do this and that and this and that and this and that. But Torah doesn't say nothing about you can't do this and that, this and that, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Christians are trying to ask you. But you keep going to Talmud. Let's go to Torah and Tanakh, and then let's talk about your Talmud.
Moses is the final authority, and Paul or even Daniel or the later Hebrew prophets that are in the Hebrew Bible.
Hey, guys, I don't mean to interrupt your Jewish friend here, but you're not answering the question these Christians have been saying to you for the last hour. Are you explaining to us? You're saying Paul argued with Moses. He didn't argue with Moshiach. He didn't argue with Moses, Moshe. He said he's speaking the words of Yahushua. I know you would know them as Jesus as a Jew, but if the word Yahushua, what's the book of in Torah? Yahushua, right? Joshua. So Yahushua means salvation for the Jew. I'm asking you. You keep going back to, oh no. Paul and is not a Jew. Let's use the Hebrew. Shay Shalal is argument Moses. You know what I mean? Stop using the English, bro. Like, let's talk Jew to Jew. Like, let's just explain to me, bro, why you keep saying Moses would stone Paul, but Paul spoke Torah, man. Like,
Jews, basically continued breaking the covenant. It wasn't working out. The point was, like, God needed to send Jesus as a rectifier of a broken world. And I mean, I think that, like, that does sort of change the again, Jesus underlines Mosaic law. He doesn't like innovate. There's nothing particularly new there from the perspective of Jews. He just goes, keep doing the law, that you haven't been doing, or you've been doing it in the wrong spirit, or breaking it.
Paul and circumcision. You're saying that where can you come up?
Okay, yeah, no, keep circumcising. The Jews should keep circumcising.
Yeah, where do you come up with in any of these things? Where could you come up with the authority to undermine the authority of Moses? And according to the religion of Judaism, the laws of Moses are eternal.
But David,
the definition of a
but David, how come when Paul and you, as a Jew, you never read the New Testament, right? Because your rabbis tell you not to. You guys can't think for yourself.
Times. I mean, most Jews haven't.
Have you read the whole Brit Hadashah? That's what these Christians are asking you. Have you read the Brit Hadashah? It's literally Torah. Without the Greek and the other things, it's Torah. Have you ever read the Brit Hadashah? Be honest.
Watching the difference between Judaism and Christianity.
Have you ever read the Brit Hadashah? You're not answering the question.
The followers of Moses, and you can't undermine the authority of Moses with logic or with.
Brutify. I get what you're saying. This guy's not answering you guys. He keeps going back to
because you don't seem to be acknowledging the
I am saying Moses.
No way. But by definition, a Jew is a Jew because they follow Moses, and if you undermine the tenet of Moses, you're no longer a Jew.
You mentioned that you're not into the third temple stuff. I mean, to me, this is really important. Like the Christians used to call this like supersessionism. I think it's Luke 17:21 where Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you, and so this new movement, like Israel, essentially becomes a metaphysical or an intersocial or an internal sort of a thing. It's no longer physical space. It's oneness with Christ.
Yep.
And so, like, in practice, like actually existing quote unquote Israel in the world now is this kind of fake Israel. And like I'm not saying it to be mean or anti-Semitic or anything, but I'm afraid the mission it's like an incorrect, it's a rejection of the logos, and it's causing all kinds of problems, as we see.
Okay, guys, if he reads the Tanakh like he says he does, you're not supposed to be for open borders. Look at the book of Nehemiah, right?
Right.
He guided Yahuwah did not want open borders. He didn't even want like Jews having sex with other races. He wanted to keep that race, just like there was Polish and Italians and the multiculturalism. Like, you guys want that, but Messiah, he wanted the Jews to be the Jews. That's why you remember what it says in the Bible. It says even the dogs can eat from crumbs from the Jews, but he meant that the Gentiles are in with us. Dubit, you don't like that, but as a socialist, the Talmud is socialist. The Tanakh and the Torah is not socialism. It's very conservative, as you guys would say 20 years ago, Melchizedek.
I'm going to take a few minute break. I'm not sure that Kenneth wants. I mean, there's hundreds of hours of me on YouTube, and like
but we're talking now. What, you're not willing to talk to him? He's got to go do his research into you before you'll speak with him.
I don't want to research him.
He wants my answers to the question. I think he wants to answer the questions himself, and so you guys might as well just talk amongst.
No, Dubik, you didn't answer. Did you ever read the New Testament? That's all I'm asking.
You really want the answers that I'm going to give you. Just want to give.
I want your answers.
So I'm happy to just let Brundle hand the platform over to you. I'll take you could have a few minutes. And you guys could talk amongst yourselves.
David, are you? Hold on, David. So this guy won.
Listen to my answers. I'll give you my answers. But
he'll get okay. All right. Let's do this. Hold on.
I'm just going to take a few minute break and let you guys talk amongst yourselves.
All right, David. I gotta say, dude. I don't know why you're going to let this guy blow you off the screen like this. Just answer his question. I'm kind of not surprised. I figured David would have had this type of a meltdown.
I have another question.
All right, yeah, Melchizedek. I love that name, bro.
Thank you. What do you think about like the changes to Christianity basically since Vatican II and this compromise with like worldly Judaism, where the idea is going to be now like dual covenant, sort of parallel covenants, where like it seems like and this includes Protestant Christians now too, who think that Judaism is like the old covenant is still in effect, and they don't. Essentially, you're not. It's almost like rude now to preach conversion to Jews. How did that happen, and how can we get things back in order?
Let me ask that question real fast. Did you guys grow up traditional Christian, Catholic,
Presbyterian, and then Methodist?
Okay,
evangelical.
Okay, good. That's where I started that after Catholicism. But Puritans were very pure to the word of the Torah, right? Then Catholicism crept back in because of England. Before that, if you look at the original Christians, as you guys would say, in the Hebrew, it would be the way. They got the Jews so mad as Dubit left us because they were following the Torah better than he was, and they had salvation. You know what I'm saying? So this is where the translations get me frustrated. I know you guys are not Greek and Hebrew, but I would talk to my scholarly pastors. They would argue with me, but I'd say, okay, let's go to the Hebrew. Let's go to the Greek. You guys are telling me this, what Messiah said, but if you look at the Torah, he couldn't go against the Torah. You know what I mean? As a Christian pastor, they would say Jesus fulfilled the law, right? But if you really look at fulfilled, it means completed. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Christian radio. A lot of pastors are saying that now. It means completed. It doesn't mean you don't have to follow the Torah. It means Messiah completed it. You guys can too.
So do you think that we should get rid of, or Catholics should get rid of Thomas Aquinas and St. Louis, St. Louis de Montfort?
Yes. That was my answer for everything you said.
That's all garbage, basically.
Yes, because look at it.
Wait. Where did the Christian New Testament come from? It came from St. Jerome.
No. If you look at it, it originally came from Jews, the apostles, that wrote it, and then eventually, you guys know, as a Jew, you know that they burnt the scrolls. So there is Jews that say that some of the New Testament of Brit Hadashah was written in Hebrew, but the scrolls were burnt. And these were from secular archaeologists. When I was a secular humanist, they said that the scrolls were burnt. So there was English, there was Hebrew, Aramaic at the time, and Greek of the Brit Hadashah.
This is interesting because Vivian kind of likes the pagan element of Catholicism.
That's scary. Yeah, I talked a lot of people.
Because wait. Like when saints are canonized, like these weren't just random people that they chose. Like these were holy people.
What is that Brit Hadashah? I'm asking you.
What?
Is that Brit Hadashah? Did you ever read the New Testament since you like the Catholicism?
Yeah.
Did you read the New Testament where there's no Catholic? Like if you look at Melchizedek, you'll like this because I don't have the Bible anymore. In the Catholic Bible, it says in the beginning there was Logos, the word.
Right.
If you go into more in depth, they take out the word spirit and they put some other garbage in there to allow Catholics to believe in their Catholic doctrine.
In what translation?